Yo, what's good? It's your boy Southbreeze 706. This is the Dribble Nation Report, the unofficial official podcast of Falcons Twitter. Today we are joined by the bearded legend himself, Jalen Muhammad on Twitter, and ESPN's finest, Eric Robinson. Shout out to Lethal Saint, Jiff Queen. She's having some issues with her power. The OnlyFans money didn't come in, so she could not pay her rent. So
It's off.
we're paying.
The issue is off.
We're praying for her time of need. Hopefully she gets her stuff together. But anywho, what's good with y'all?
Chilling, man. Chilling. Another day, another dog.
I'm perpetually tired, as always.
Watching 2 games at once. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right now.
I got Giants and Bucks in front of me, and then I'm watching the Duke game right next to me. So
Yeah, I just have the Hawks game on because I don't give a shit about this Monday night game, to be honest. I expected it to be a blowout a lot sooner. So
Yeah, I forgot the game was on, actually. I was like, oh, shit.
Jalen said the same thing. He was like, I forgot that game came on tonight.
Yeah, it is. Like, at this point, with football, I'm just kind of like.
it's just with the, like, I don't care anything about the Bucks. I don't care anything about the Giants. Like, I don't care about them at all.
Yeah, so it's tying in not to caring. A lot of people are beginning not to care about the hometown team, the Atlanta Falcons, as we have taken a plunge into poverty. If you do the maths, I saw a tweet that said that over the last 2 games, we are averaging a whopping 1.5 points on offense, as we scored 0 points last week or Thursday against the Patriots, and then 3 points against the Cowboys. Right. So we didn't record after the Cowboys lost. I mean, there's not too much to say. It wasn't pretty. I was on the road. I didn't see the entire game in real time, but by the time I got home, the game was over. It was pack watch. Packs were going up everywhere. Yeah. So we did a podcast before that, and real quick, let's get go back in the time machine. And at the time, Eric and Jalen said, God damn, that's loud. Holy shit. Eric and Jalen said that the game was winnable. But Eric had the caveat that if we protect Matt Ryan. I said the game could get ugly, which it did very quickly. Just so real quick, what do you think went wrong with the Falcons against Dallas as, you know,
They took the field.
Oh, well, there we go. That is some expert analysis. We'll move. I guess a lot of those Dan Quinn defense tweets didn't age well for a lot of people. That was
Knew that was going to happen.
Always fun.
I just knew that was going to happen too. Like in
Always
my head,
fun.
I was thinking, because the people get on my ass thinking I'm just like so pessimistic and not optimistic about the team and everything. And I'm just like, I just see what I just know what I'm talking about sometimes. Like, I just knew that of all times, it's hilarious knowing the result of the Chiefs game too. I just knew that, like, if there was any time for like a Dan Quinn defense to completely shut down the team, it was going to be this time. I just knew.
I mean, of course I watched the game, but I look at the small things within the game. And it was a bunch of small things that just aligned itself. Just kind of sort of like the Patriots game the other night. It was small things that just told me, like, bro, they are not going to win this game. And the Dallas game, Cordero got hurt. Koo missed the field goal. Went for it on 4th and 7, didn't get it. I say, yep, it's a train wreck. Now, all that happened in the first quarter. But it's just you see this episode play out so many times with the Falcons. It's either they start off well and they make it a competitive game, and then they just somehow fumble it away in the fourth quarter, or it's wildfire from the first quarter, and there's no way in hell they're going to win this game, and that's how it was with Dallas. Complete opposite of last year. Last year was just like, oh my God, they're world beaters. And then they just discombobulated. But this year it was just
these guys are overmatched.
It was like, get these guys off the goddamn field, man. They don't belong on this field.
So real quick, what I thought was going to be the factor for them was the week before when they played the Saints. They had Trevor Siemian. The game kind of became one-dimensional, even though it looked like the Saints were about to run for 1,000 yards in one game against us. We clamped down on them, squeaking out a victory on them. And my thing with Dallas was like, okay, well, they actually have a competent quarterback and the ability to run the ball. So that definitely played a factor. But what you guys said, I believe Eric was saying that pretty much you put, let's see, Terrell, he'll do his thing, but whoever is covering CeeDee Lamb or whatever is just going to literally do whatever they want. And
Literally how that happened.
Yeah, crazy. CeeDee Lamb had 6 receptions on 7 targets for 94 yards, averaging 15.7 yards per reception and 2 touchdowns. So yeah, the analysis was spot on right there. But they did also finish with 114 yards rushing, which isn't
literally the one crazy. Time I saw AJ on CD, he got like a pass breakup, and then they never put him on that side again, and it was wraps.
Yeah. So it wasn't a crazy day on the ground, but it was enough to, kind of get us up out the paint. And the offense didn't fare very well. Matt Ryan completed 9 passes out of 21 attempts for 117 yards, averaging 5.6 yards per pass. No touchdowns, 2 picks, 2 sacks for 20 yards, a QBR of 9.1, and a quarterback rating of 21.4.
Shit.
Yeah. And again, for the people listening and watching, we understand that the cupboard is bare. We understand we're working with limited
options. Nicely.
Yeah, but
wait. So what you're telling me is that they don't have
wow.
talent?
What the hell? Oh yeah, that's exactly what it is, Jalen. They don't have talent.
No. I got in my mentions all off season. It was coaching
on both sides of the ball. They don't have
that's talent. It. No. It's just coaching, bro.
No. Coaching was going to improve this team.
Coaching But apparently,
are you talking about coaching alone was going to turn them into a player?
That's what people were telling me. I didn't say it. I never said that. That's just what people told me.
I knew that there was definitely going to be an improvement in coaching in certain spots, in certain aspects on the team. And I still think this coaching staff is a good coaching staff going forward. But coming into the season, man, there's no way you can sit here and tell me, just looking at the depth chart in preseason, there's no way you can sit here and tell me that this is going to be a formidable defense with Stephen Means starting edge rusher. There's no way you're going to convince me.
They're making the playoffs. What you mean?
I don't give a damn. I don't care if Wade Phillips is on the sideline. No, not with Means out there. I'm sorry, man. No.
Yeah, no, I'm just trolling because I agree with you. Like, I think the coaching staff is pretty good. Like, I have, again, my reservations on Arthur Smith at this moment still, but
just
rightfully so.
Just seeing the positives, we'll get to that. But just seeing the positives that we've seen so far, given the talent that they have, it tells me, like, okay, if we can get some upgrades in certain positions, they can play some football. They can win some games. That's for sure. To me, even though the season is still ugly, the fact that he still they already matched last year's win total, given that this is the worser team in terms of talent, is fairly impressive. I'll give them that. I'll give the coaching staff that.
I'm not about to deal with no hypotheticals or anything, because I could have been like, just imagine if they just literally did one thing differently last year, they probably would have won like 11 games, because they technically could have, but again, they did, so it don't matter. Like,
they started off 0-5. There ain't no one thing.
And every single one of those games was close, besides like one.
It's not like one.
They shouldn't have lost the Dallas game. They shouldn't have lost because they literally lost like 3 weeks in a row on unprecedented shit.
Interesting.
Again, I'm not. The team sucks as like in talent. They have a very bad despair of talent. They don't have the players to do anything.
And the last 2 weeks were the obvious signs.
Literally. When they finally played a team that's somewhat good, the talent disparity showed.
Yeah, I'm jumping back in the time machine real quick, just because we did. Hold on, we did play the Cowboys last year, and that we all. If you don't remember what happened in that game, yeah, we lost 40-39 because of some special teams snafus, but we scored 39 points, which.
I'm in pain.
Yeah. Life is tough.
From 49 to 3, like
fam. So if you look at it, and
39,
and this is been a big thing with
honestly, with what one player missing. Well, you take out Julio, you add Pitts, you take out Ridley, you add Cordero. That's a 36-point disparity.
Well, and listen to the stats of this game,
with mind you, I'm pretty sure Randy Gregory and well, I don't know about Randy Gregory. Dexter Lawrence played last year in that
Dexter
game.
Lawrence did play last year. Yep.
Their linebackers were okay; they weren't good, and their secondary wasn't good either. But the secondary isn't good now either.
The secondary isn't good now, right?
It's the same thing. So, like, to go from having to putting up 39 points with Dirk Cutter as your coach,
as a 36-point disparity,
that's the same with the same roster. 36 points
drop off. Good Lord!
So bookmark that for more Arthur Smith questions.
No, I'm not. You can crack Arthur Smith upside the head. I'm not going to.
So
but I already know where you're going with that.
Well, I it's more general, I guess.
Yeah,
but...
trust me, that's me.
Okay, yeah. So
this isn't even me hating on him. This is just me being like, I don't like what he's doing right now.
Well, let me go back and read from the same team with similar talent. I know things change from year to year, but in that game, Calvin Ridley had 7 receptions for 109 yards. Obviously, led the team, 2 touchdowns. The player that we apparently forgot about, Hayden Hurst, in that same game had 5 receptions for 72 yards and a touchdown. Russell Gage had 6 receptions, 46 yards, and a touchdown. Julio Jones was a non-factor, 2 for 24. And after that, it's just a bunch of randos, Brian Hill, Olamide Zaccheaus, and Keith Smith. But, Calvin Ridley was a big factor in that game. But, I mean, he's not here. But, it's like, where's Hayden Hurst at, right? Like, that's kind of, one of the things I would say about your man's Arthur Smith, that I don't know if there's something going on with him. But, this dude was a competent contributor on offense, and now he's just a guy. I don't understand where that happens, but
that's a 30 for 30 title from second round pick to just a guy. You
go ahead and trademark that. Let's fast forward to the Thursday night game.
Here's the thing. Hold on. Here's the thing.
Let's go.
Hayden Hurst has always just been a guy.
You're not wrong.
But he was a productive guy. And now he's just
Was he really that productive last year?
He was more productive than
year,
compared to now. Absolutely.
He's not. I could go out there and do what he's doing. He's not doing anything. He's running wind sprints.
He's not blocking. He's not catching passes. He's not hitting rubber.
Last year, Jalen.
No. Trust me.
He scored a touchdown at least.
I have look. You will not find a bigger beside Ned on Twitter. You will not find somebody who hated the Hayden Hurst acquisition more than me. Because we went from Austin Hooper, who, however you think about Austin Hooper, he has been a very good tight end so far. Even if he's not catching passes with the Browns because Baker Mayfield and then the coach doesn't use tight ends like that, they don't know how to use Njoku either. He still blocks the hell out of the ball. Number one running defense for running offense for a reason. You went from that because you didn't want to pay him to sending a second round pick for this guy to catch passes, and then that's it. He doesn't do anything else. He has one thing that he is good at, and that's been his only thing he's been good at in the league, and that's running down the seam and catching a pass. If he can't do that,
been a good blocker.
he's exactly. He doesn't do anything else. If he can't run down the seam and catch a pass, what is he doing?
So I know that, and I would like to say real quick for the people whose tweets I pull up, I do this out of love. Like, there's no maliciousness out of it. You tweeted it. I remember it. I just retweeted. Like, it's all love out there. But I mean, if you guys want an opportunity to possibly pack me up, I believe I was on the wrong side of the Hayden Hurst, Austin Hooper thing, because I thought that could be a viable option. I probably didn't go too crazy on the take, but I'm pretty sure I was probably pro Hayden Hurst. So if you guys want to pack me up, feel free to search my tweets.
You were pro Hayden Hurst because you didn't think it was worth signing Hooper. I remember that conversation.
I was for it because I didn't think Baltimore utilized him correctly. I think Baltimore tried to make him into a blocking tight end, and that's never been his forte.
Well, knowing what we know now about Baltimore, it makes a lot of sense why they do that.
The other dude's baller. He's legit. I think my argument with the Hayden Hurst versus Austin Hooper was the kind of the explosiveness aspect, which has really, because in theory, right? You're like, all right, cool. You got Julio, you got Calvin Ridley, you got Hayden Hurst. Cool, we can do things like run verticals and get people open downfield, but didn't really materialize like that.
And you know what's crazy? Austin Hooper would have been incredible in the way Dirk ran the system last year with all those short routes and everything, because he has really good hands and he can get you some yak. Like, he's a big guy. He's not going to go down on first contact. And he would help now.
Imagine Hooper with Pitts now.
Yeah, like that would have been incredible. It would literally be, if you want to run those check downs you do for Cordero, you could literally split that out between them two, and you're getting some good looks off of it. But no, you have to deal with Hayden Hurst. Hopefully he gets well soon. I'm not like ragging on him. I don't hate the guy or anything. I just don't like that acquisition. Like, I never liked it. And I will always just like be in awe that they spent a second round pick. Like, if you were gonna do that and then not pick up his fifth year, like 2 years late, like a year later, why didn't you just spend that second round pick on a tight end or a wide receiver? They sent out a second round pick. Granted, it was like a middle of the pack one, but still, you sent out a second round pick for some guy that isn't going to do anything.
Yeah. So
whether that's on Arthur Smith or not knowing how to, tell him to run down the seam or tell him to just run correct pick routes or whatever it is, or if that's just on that's who he is as a player, that I don't know. Because I think if you played him with, I don't know, somebody like Aaron Rodgers, obviously, who's just going to throw the ball down the field, he would probably be really good there. But that's not what this quarterback and this team is trying to do right now. It's not what Arthur Smith does in general. So
that makes sense. So fast forward to a Thursday night quote-unquote performance against the New England Patriots. If you didn't watch the game, good for you, because it wasn't much to see. We lost 25-0. Mac Jones pretty much dink and dunked us to death. He went 22 for 26, 207 yards, 1 touchdown, and a pick to AJ Terrell. Pretty much the only shining star and bright spot for this Falcons team at the moment. His QBR wasn't great, 37, but he had a quarterback rating of 96.6. On the other hand, the Falcons continue to be on the negative side of history. Matt Ryan went 19 for 28, 153 yards, 2 picks, QBR of 23.3, and a quarterback rating of 51.7. Josh Rosen went 1 for 3, 5 yards, 1 interception. No, let me finish. And then the multi-purpose player, tight end / quarterback Felipe Franks comes in, and he goes 0 for 1, which could technically be 1 for 1 because his only pass was an interception as well. So
now I will say this right now, and of all the things that I've seen this Falcons team do, that is always, for the rest of time, will forever live in my head, and it will be the funniest thing I have ever seen in my life. Damn. Like, I was physically on my floor in tears because it happened in like a span of like 3 minutes. Like,
the last eight plays were picks, which is insanity.
That was so funny.
Insanity. Yeah, I don't think any other team has ever done that. Along with this is the first time we've been shut out since I think 1988. So we continue to add to the history books for football history. Good. I mean, at least the Falcons are doing something. The kids will have something to read about in a couple years in their history books when they're doing research on the Falcons. Hey, look, we made history. Not for nothing good, but for being, rancid cheeks. So, but yeah, I don't.
This would have all been okay if they just were like, yeah, we're rebuilding this year.
Again, we'll put a button on that for some more.
We'll talk about that too.
Arthur Smith fought not talk, but yeah, I mean, so what was there anything positive from that game that you guys can take away? Like, did
the jerseys look dope?
Yeah, the jerseys are cool. AJ Terrell's really good. Besides that,
next question. Look, I would have rather that they played in the gradient than to waste the throwbacks. You wasted the throwbacks. You put the throwbacks on to get shut out. Just put those ugly ass gradients on and get smacked around with those.
Do some crazy ass combination. Do like black shirt, red pants, or some shit like that. Like,
come out with white. They didn't even. I've never seen them in the white and red combination. I
actually really like that combination. So
I like that too.
Do that. But I need them to actually be like winning to do that because them shits look too cool for that.
Don't get your ass kicked in the throwbacks, man. Like, but anyway. There were no positives. The only positive I can pull from that game was one play that AJ Terrell had, the one interception. That's literally the only positive. Like it's not even a factor or an element that I'm pulling away from the game. No, it's literally just one play from that game that I'm pulling away and say, okay, that was good. The rest, ass cheeks.
AJ played good. Dion didn't look like a total fucking screw up the entire game.
Look.
It's okay. Let it out.
This is a safe space.
Can I let it out?
This is a safe space. This is a safe space. We're here for you. This is what we do here.
Dion's gone this offseason.
Oh, I've been saying that since the beginning of this season.
Prediction.
And I've been saying this since the beginning of the season.
Dion is playing incredibly lazy.
He don't want to be here.
He doesn't want to be out there.
It's literally it was like one of those things. Like I'm not gonna say like these are all professionals and shit. So like obviously they're gonna play, but it could have been one of those things where like they were like really like all of them were like really really in tune with fucking Dan Quinn for some reason, and then they were just like, nah, we don't want to play anymore.
One play, it might have been like in the second quarter. I guess I can't remember if it was a run or a pass. All I know is another defender was tackling a Patriot. Debo tried to peanut punch, but he ended up punching the Patriot like in the shoulder. No tackle attempt. He punched the dude in the shoulder. Like he was. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? It's one thing for you to try to punch the ball out. The ball was in the opposite arm, by the way. You didn't even come nowhere near. Like this. Why? Why are you here, bro? Like I'm at a point that you just. It's time to pack it up. It's time to pack it up. I'm sorry. There's been a lot of talk about what they may do this offseason as far as possibly trading players. If I had to bet on it right now, I think he's one that is gone for sure. I will put my money on him. I've seen enough. His tackling was already shitty going into that game, and it got even worse. You just putting on the jersey, bro. That's all you doing.
Yo, so actually that kind of reminded me of another moment of the game where I laughed hysterically, where the two Falcons receivers ran into each other. I was like, you know what, man, we gotta go. Like, just can we like simulate the rest of the season? Like, I've seen a lot of things, but that had to be. That's in the list too of hilarious Falcons.
It was even funnier because the announcers were like, "Oh, looks like this guy. It should have been pass interference because this guy took one of the Falcon receivers out." And then I was just looking like, "No, that was definitely Tajay Sharp clotheslining Russell Gage across the middle of the field." I was just fucking. It was so funny. That shit was so funny.
I need somebody to go find that video and put like some WWF like Jim Ross vocals behind that shit. Oh my god!
But God! That son of a bitch!
Yeah,
with a crimson mask. Like,
you don't
oh
see
my God.
that. You don't see that happening. Honestly, you don't see that happening to the Bucks. You don't see that happening to the Patriots. You don't see that happening to the Cowboys.
To
But
well-coached teams or well-coached
another
offenses. Let me say that.
button for the Arthur Smith conversation. We'll go ahead and mark that down as well. Check.
let's just go ahead and get into the Arthur Smith. Fuck it. Let's have it. I've been waiting for this. Let's have it.
So this is like what 4 weeks going. So obviously he's just adding on to Vitality.
I think Arthur Smith is getting way too much shit.
We'll start with myself. Let me actually. So if you didn't know, I'm an elitist. I am a member of. I have Twitter Blue, right? So I can make bookmark folders. So I have a bookmark folder called Timeline Falcons.
Whoa! Hold on, wait a minute. Time out. You paying $2.99 a month?
Absolutely. I've said on Twitter a zillion times I would pay for Twitter if they made it a little bit better. Anywho, let's see. Where is this tweet that I saved from Eric?
That's your boy, Jalen. That's your boy.
I'm an elitist. What can I say?
He's an elitist. You can't say you're an elitist after talking about eating like Vienna sausage.
Vienna sausages. Right.
How you think I had the money to pay for Twitter Blue? Open your third eye. Open your third eye. Focus. All right.
This man over here just slurping on Vienna sausages while scrolling Twitter. Like, you gotta get a grip, bro.
Hey, man. Well, y'all talk real quick. Let me find this tweet.
Nah, you said you gonna lead it off. Or Eric, you said you wanted to start. You can start.
Arthur Smith is getting too much shit. Too much. Given what is on that field,
yeah.
Given what is on that field, given the fact that you have people that are literally on Twitter saying they want him fired already after 10 games. They expect this offense to be a juggernaut and that they should be scoring points whenever they feel like it. Look, yes, I'm disappointed that they only scored 3 points in the past 2 games. Credit. Absolutely. But in those past 2 games, they literally had Cordero out on the field for like 1 drive. Maybe 2, if that. You got Matt Ryan trying to throw passes to Russell Gage, Tajay Sark, and Olamide Zaccheaus, and y'all really expect touchdown drives against the Cowboys and the Patriots.
So, and I tweet this out as well. What did I tweet this out? Who were the Patriots receivers?
Kendrick Bourne, who's better than pretty much anybody on the Falcons right now, not named Cordero Patterson. Is he not?
No, he's 100% is.
Jacoby Myers, who's better than Russell Gage and Tajay Sharp and Olamide Zaccheaus. Is he not?
Sure.
They got 2 tight ends, 2 capable tight ends, not just one.
Wait, don't we have 2 capable tight ends?
No, you don't have 2 capable tight ends.
Okay.
You got 1 tight end that is going to be a future All-Pro, and then you got another tight end that's just fast, that can't block, and has had drops and fumble issues this year, which is why Arthur Smith is not designing plays for him.
How dare you disrespect Lee Smith like that?
All right, so I found the tweet, right? And this ties into that.
Good one, Jalen. Good one.
So it ties directly into that. So Eric tweeted out, the way Kelsey is used in the red zone is how I eventually want the Kyle Pitts to get utilized in Atlanta. And I tweeted in response saying, imagine if we had an offensive-minded coach to scheme that up.
We do have an offensive-minded coach.
And Eric responded that you're close, bro, with the gif of a basketball being blocked.
You were close, bro.
It's an honest question.
Here's my rebuttal to that. They do have an offensive-minded coach when it comes to that can be able to scheme up things. But you have to keep in mind, every time they're in the red zone, who gets first priority? Kyle Pitts. It's easy to scheme someone open when you have an offense, when you have playmakers on the field like Kansas City. When you have
almost like they could have made a move in the offseason or the preseason or anything along those lines to get him another weapon that could help in the red zone.
It's much
That would be
easier.
crazy.
Right. You're right, Jalen, but it's much easier to design plays for Travis Kelce than it is for Kyle Pitts in the red zone right now. So they have an offensive minded head coach that can do it. But again, if you're playing the Falcons right now and you're in the red zone, are you not shading over to Kyle Pitts? You're doing whatever it takes to eliminate him right now, especially if there's no Cordero on the field. So again, how can you draw up plays for somebody who's going to be seeing double and triple teams when the defense is already condensed? You're down at the 10-yard line.
Oh, I don't know. Ask the people who kept saying Julio needed to get all these touchdowns because
right,
literally the exact same
exactly.
thing.
These are the same people that were saying that. Why Julio's not getting touchdowns? Well, you're
getting quadruple
radius. All 11 players are trying to cover Julio. There's probably a reason why he's not getting looks. Like it's the same thing with Pitts. So, and when I made that comment, I meant eventually, throughout his career, they're going to scheme him that way. But he needs guys on that field around him. I'm out there as a defense. I'm looking at Tajay Sharp and I'm looking at Kyle Pitts. I said, "Fuck you. We're doubling you." He's probably not even going to throw the ball your way.
Give my son Christian Blake some snaps, man. He's tall.
Oh yeah, let's throw him out there. He's
tall. He don't do nothing else, but he's tall.
This offense. No, man. Like it's just. I think Smith gets too much of a knock because he's trying to make hot dogs with Vienna sausages at wide receiver. Sorry. That's what he has. That's what he's working with.
So I get that, but I believe that I think Jalen said in the last podcast, that's kind of his fault for not making upgrades in certain positions.
I would agree with you there. Yes, I would agree with you. They dropped the ball in that aspect because they honestly walked into the season thinking we're going to be fine on offense.
And that is either stupid as hell or they have a shit ton of confidence.
They're super young. They're rookies at this. They're new at this.
Yeah, or they have super confidence in Arthur Smith.
Let's hope they learn their lesson from this. But yes, I agree with you there. Jalen hit the nail on the head there. Like, yeah, I'm not faulting him for trying to draw up X's and O's to get the ball in the hands of Kyle Pitts. I'm faulting him for going through the offseason, going into the regular season and looking at this roster and saying, we'll be okay. We'll be okay. We'll be okay. No, you're not going to be okay. Like this team needs, I'm not saying go sign Odell Beckham, but god damn, you can't even against Jacksonville next week. There's no Cordero in that game. They're gonna lose. I'm sorry. They're gonna lose.
No bullshit. If they don't put up at least 20 points on that Jags defense
with no Cordero,
yeah. Without Cordero,
they're not going to score 20 points on that Jags defense without Cordero.
That should tell you everything you need to know about this regime.
They're not going to score 20 points on that. No. It's not going to tell me anything about the regime. It's going to tell me that this team needs some damn players, man. They're not going to score 20 without Cordero.
I don't know if we said this on or off the show, but didn't we just go through the hierarchy of last year and then this year, like offense and defense or offense? Like we used the Cowboys game as the example about how it was pretty much the same team or the same.
Yeah. For the most part, that was like 5 minutes ago.
Okay, I was just making sure. I was like, I don't know what the hell is going on.
It's pretty much the same team, yeah. For the most part, it was pretty much the same team.
I just don't like.
Well, okay, this is I think that's what I'm asking.
Because now last year, how many times did we really have to depend on Russell Gage? Given the weapons that were already on the field, how many times did we have
than
this year?
No. I want to say a lot more than people probably think. He still had 800 yards last year.
But he also shared the field with Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones.
So again,
he's also sharing the field with Calvin Ridley and Kyle Pitts.
He's sharing the field with who? Calvin ain't been there 4 weeks.
Yeah, but even when he was doing it, they were still having him do simple shit.
So again,
stuff that doesn't fit to his strengths.
let's backtrack a little bit. So you're saying that Arthur Smith is getting too much flack. I see the tweets, King Quest and that GA. Well, I'm gonna get to those in a second. So how are we slicing up the blame pie? Because obviously you think that Arthur Smith is getting too much of the shit of the blame pie, or too big of a slice of the blame
if
pie.
I'm going to give him blame, I'm going to give him blame for not managing the roster properly coming into the season. That's what I'm going to give him the blame for. I'm not going to give him the blame for not being able to win games against Bill. People are really expecting them to win games against Bill Belichick and the Patriots with Russell Gage and Tajay Sharp as your top two receivers. Like, you guys, that's not going to fucking happen.
So, okay.
Look, to be fair, I'll say this real quick. I was not expected, like, ever since the schedule came out, I was not expecting them to beat the Patriots.
I wasn't either.
That was literally the worst thing possible.
But I damn sure didn't expect them to be competitive.
I didn't expect them to lose by 25 to McCorkle.
I didn't expect them to be competitive with no Cordero, no running game, and Kyle Pitts being double. Like, no, this team is not going to do anything.
Okay, so I understand that. I get it. Like, I think I tweeted out a couple weeks ago that our upcoming games were the Cowboys and the Patriots after they were doing amazing things against other teams. I get it. I'm not saying that we needed to beat Bill Belichick, but to come out and lay an egg, that's not. I don't think you can completely blame that on the talent. Like, there's been many instances where the team as a whole has not looked ready to play games, whether you're talented or not. Like, if Arthur Smith is not at fault, then who do we blame for 9 penalties, right? The penalties that, everybody got excited in the offseason, he's making guys run laps, no accountability. Whose fault is that then?
Players.
Who gets the players prepared to play?
Who else we gonna blame?
Okay, so Arthur Smith has no blame at all, because
Arthur Smith has blame for looking at this roster,
managing the roster. But now because the roster is not good,
no, I'm not going to sit here and look at. You got to look at the Patriots first of all. This is one of the hottest teams in the league. They came into that game winning 4 in a row and 5 of their last 6 prior to that game. This is a defense that was second in the league in turnovers, second in the league in scoring defense. And you guys really expect me to look at that? They're coming off a 45-7 win over Cleveland the week before. And you guys expect me to look at Bill Belichick and then look at Russell Gage and Tajay Sharp and say, yeah, let's stay competitive, guys. Hell no. Seriously? I don't care who's calling plays.
That sounds like a bit of a cop-out to me, but I mean...
A cop-out? They're terrible. What are you talking about? They suck. And they're going against arguably the greatest coach of all time. What do you mean a cop-out? That's not a cop-out.
Okay. If that's how you feel, but if we go back in time, this same team minus 1 player against the great Saints defense was able to do all that, but now we can't be confident. Now it's all the players' fault that we can't score.
Minus one player who?
Cordero.
Against the Saints, Cordero had the biggest play of the game against the Saints.
I'm talking about now. We don't have him.
It's still hilarious that Cordero Patterson
is the linchpin of this team. That's what I'm saying.
Is the only player that he knows how to scheme shit for. And
as you see, when he's not there, then nothing happens.
The only player with goddamn talent that ain't named Kyle Pitts. You ever thought about that?
I mean, look, again, you can say that. You can say that all you want.
A lot of peas,
you can say that. You can say that all you want and everything, but again, forgetting the fact that Christian Blake and people all 5th, 6th wide receiver shouldn't be on the roster unless they're practice squad or last resort players. Even then, you probably should replace them with people who fit your scheme or something. But
yes, I will. I will back you on that.
I would rather if they brought in Marvin Hall. He played. I don't know if he played Thursday or Sunday.
He did. He played Thursday.
Okay, if he played well, again, I don't even really care about the Patriots game. We just confirmed that they sucked, and it gave me a great memory of the 3 quarterbacks throwing an interception, in a 5-minute span. I don't really care about the Patriots game. I am more concerned about the Cowboys game. That doesn't make any sense at all. We were both saying, Eric, we both said that Cowboys game, they have no linebacker that should be able to keep up with Kyle Pitts. There is literally, even with Cordell, I don't know if Cordell played that game, or he played a little bit of that game.
He played.
Oh, he only played. He played like a series because he was hurt.
Played the series. I'm honestly, Jalen, I'm not worried about either game because both games proved to me exactly what was said.
Yeah, I know they need talent, but like
they need ball players, man.
But again,
when you're going up against teams like that.
But again,
damn,
that Cowboys defense is not. It's not like everybody's been saying. It's not that good. Like
I just
3 points.
I don't get it. That's like fam. I understand. Like I feel like I'm being painted out to make it seem like I understand this team does not have talent. Right. But we're not the only team in the league that has deficiencies. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't understand.
But if y'all really expect Russell Gage to go out there and win a share of one-on-one battles,
Russell Gage led the team in receiving that game. He wasn't doing horrible.
You expect him to win one-on-one battles against Trayvon Diggs and then keep this game competitive, then all right, whatever. You expect
No, I expect Arthur Smith to be like, you can't win a one-on-one battle. So how about we scheme you to get open?
Crazy.
Scheme him how? Scheme him how
there was a bunch of ways you could do that. If Dirk Cutter can figure out how to do it, then I'm pretty sure he can do it.
Dirk Cutter didn't really do that either, to be quite honest with you. But hey, how are you going to scheme Russell Gage open? Especially, please tell me, Breeze, how are you going to scheme Russell Gage open, especially when your offensive line can't hold protection?
I mean, his best value is his hand and his like catch radius.
So what are we going to do all game? Are we just going to do
give him a screen? Give him a screen.
How many screens are we going to run all game though?
You can run 4 screens.
It's better watching Jalen Mayfield and Hennessy and the boys get ran over, dog. Like
you can run again. You can run 4 screens. I hate wide receiver / tight end screen unless you have like super speedy guys there.
So we want to draw up 4 screens the entire game for Russell Gage, just to get the ball in his hands, and that's going to.
When you don't have anybody else to do anything else, and he becomes your de facto number 1 wide receiver, I would say yes, because you got to try something.
Because Kyle Pitts is being tripled.
So here's the caveat to that. You guys are honestly going to sit here and do that for 4 quarters against Bill Belichick.
Again, I'm not talking about the Patriots. I don't care about the Patriots game. I was completely fine with whatever they did in the Patriots because I knew they weren't going to do shit.
Bill Belichick ain't going to figure that out, Breeze.
I'm not saying that's the case, but as a coach, you get paid money to make adjustments.
And also, the Patriots defense is 76 times better than the Cowboys defense. My focus is on the Cowboys game. I don't care about the Patriots.
We got to draw plays for Russell Gage against a defense that's second in scoring and second in takeaways.
Well, yeah, when your coach does not get better talent, then yeah, you just said that he's in charge of managing the roster, and when the roster is trash, now he is absolved of any blame. So it's like you can't really have it both ways. Like, hey, it's not his fault because we don't have the talent, but he's in charge of getting the talent.
I didn't say which one. Which one is it? You missed everything because I said it's his fault for not managing a roster properly.
Okay, and now said bad roster.
But I'm not blaming him. I'm not going to blame him for that. He dropped the ball for that, yes. But I'm not going to sit here and say, "Well, hell, you got the guys. Russell Gage can catch the ball. He's going up against J.C. Jackson. Y'all really think like J.C. Jackson and Devin McCourty and these guys are going to get flustered by Russell Gage running wide receiver screens?
Again,
Gage probably gonna hurdle somebody before he get the damn ball. To be honest with you, look what we talking about.
We'll have to revisit this next year because I believe that you got to get the most out of your guys. And like I said, it doesn't seem like at times
there's only so much you can do.
All right. So Arthur Smith claims no. So even if you don't have good players, you guys can't line up in the right places. You guys can't not cause penalties. That's all not on
Arthur Smith. In the right places
to coach your team correctly. To not be penalized 9 times. All right.
Wow.
Arthur Smith has no blame.
How can you do that for 4 quarters, Breeze, and stay competitive?
It's almost like
Mike Smith did a great job of it.
It's almost like if you had a 3-game thing before the season started to work out.
Oh, wait a second. Yeah, I think we need, I'm going to petition Roger Goodell to get us these practice reps before
these practice reps against live competition. that you can run these basic ass concepts that he's running and and get somebody open or
But
have people from running from each other.
That's on him. He decided not to play him in the preseason. Now it's coming back to bite him in the ass a little bit. Again, that's his fault. I give him that. That's on you, bro.
Yeah,
you made that decision.
I think. Look, I think this is probably more of like a me problem than it is like a team problem. They probably don't give a shit because the only thing I heard all off season from everybody, like I said, I don't know much about coaches until I like watch their team a lot. But I don't like all I heard this entire off season was this guy is an offensive genius. He can scheme players up. He can do this, and this, and I'm just like, cool. That's good to know. Like that's nice. Granted, again, I understand what you're saying, Eric. You're saying that you actually need players to be able to do that.
Y'all take that and think that a coach can scheme any fucking player.
No, I think if you have a player who could do something or have shown they could do at least something good, you should put him in that position to do something good more. He is not doing that with these players.
Because
we talked about it. Hayden Hurst. He has one thing he's good at, and they have done that a total of like 10 times the entire season. Russell Gage, he is very good on those slants, those drags where he can get you some rack, and he is going to do some dumb shit sometimes. He's going to try to hurdle air. He's going to try to torpedo his ass into a fucking safety.
But you're going to need more.
I agree.
Guys, especially when there's no.
I agree with that.
Run slants for 4 quarters.
I agree. Look, you're making. This
is more the breeze. You can't run slants for 4 quarters with Russell Gage against Bill Belichick and think you're going to stay competitive. It's not.
I'm gonna rebut that with that. I don't think that coming into the season that Cordero Patterson was the linchpin of the offense. They didn't come in saying like, "Hey guys, this guy that we signed, Cordero Patterson, is going to be the end all be all."
He was not in their plan. They figured he was going to be a key component, but what they didn't plan for having Ridley, taking his mental health break.
And Ridley wasn't being used to his strengths when he was playing.
He exactly. That's another point I've seen the time. Like, we need Ridley. Ridley wasn't doing anything when he was here.
However, to the caveat there, Ridley was dropping a lot of passes when he was given the opportunities. Let's just be let's call it.
That's not again 100% true.
Call it even. Smith was not utilizing Ridley the way he should. But when Ridley had the opportunities to make plays, he drops the pass,
which is completely on him. Like that is again. My thing is more personnel matters a lot. I am the first person to say that it matters a lot. But in the meantime, until you get the personnel, you have to try to do something. And most of the stuff that they have been doing this year has not worked.
I think people are not realizing is that there's only so much you can do with these guys, and that type of game plan with these guys is definitely not going to work against the well-coached teams that they've seen in recent weeks. So you can sit here and you can try to run slants and curls with Russell Gage week in and week out when there's no Cordero on the field and there's no run game, but come on, man. The good defense in this league.
Yeah, I understand. I get that.
They're going to eat it up.
If you're running, I don't know, let's say for a quarter, just randomly, Matt Ryan is having one of those days where he's on, like every throw on the dot, perfect zip, perfect accuracy. And you run a couple of those curls or slants. Well, I'm not even going to say curls because curls are usually not good unless it's like 3rd and 2.
Apparently, that's all Gage can catch though, right?
No, he can catch a lot of shit. He's very good at catching like contested catches. He's very good at that, which is also surprising because that's what Arthur Smith is trying to do.
Do you guys agree that nobody on the team, minus Pitts and Cordero, nobody else on the team can win in man coverage? You guys agree when he made that statement?
I don't even think Cordero's going to win in man coverage a lot. I think Pitts will win in a lot because he's.
I think Cordero wins a man coverage because of his philosophy. It's a different reason. His physicality.
But because he's fast as shit and big as fuck. I'll give him that. Like obviously, he'll win that shit like most of the time, especially if he's not going against a physical corner.
Right.
But like, there is nobody on the team who was gonna strike fear in my heart if I'm running man. There's nobody. Because I'm just gonna double pitch. Ridley's not here, and even when he was here, I'm single coveraging him because if I get one finger on him, he's dropping the ball.
Breeze,
What's up?
is there anybody on the team that can win in man coverage that's not named Kyle Pitts or Cordero Patterson?
I will agree with Jalen to say probably not.
So in a situation like that, when you're playing a defense that's going to strictly play you man all game, there's only so much you can do. There's only so much you can only throw, but so many passes behind the line of scrimmage simply because Gage.
You could also run pick routes and shit.
Well, the pick again, the pick routes like those.
That's something that it is something very iffy, but it's also something that, if done right, can lead to massive yards. If it's coached right, they tried it the first week of the season and they fucked it up 3 times in a row. That's coaching.
Okay.
Well, I kind of want to double back. It's just when you look at it, like you say, hey, against these well-coached teams, like, all right, so now the narrative I see is like, hey, how did this team win 4 games, right? So how do we win 4 games? We
Kyle
didn't have
Pitts, Cordero Patterson, and a kicker, and Matt Ryan.
Literally because Kyle Pitts had like 3 godlike catches that'll be like the norm for him throughout his career, and then Cordero Patterson decided to be the best player on the field.
Literally had nothing to do with Russell Gage, had nothing to do with Zacchaeus, had nothing to do with the run game, in my opinion. They literally
it also has something to do because if you get again, I will grant the defense the last 2 weeks, even the Cowboys game, they played okay.
Yeah,
they got their ass beat because the offense couldn't sustain a drive or anything, but they played okay. They played good, if that's what you want to say.
Does he get credit for the maybe not the scheming of Cordero, but the utilization of Cordero? Does he get any credit?
Yeah. I'm not like one of those people who like fire Arthur Smith. I'm just like, he needs to do better with what he has right now, because if he doesn't, knowing the way Arthur Blank is thinking, he will not make it through his contract. They only signed him to a 3-year deal.
I see your point, but I guess the way I'm looking at it is him only doing 50% better, given the talent, is only going to account for an extra 10 points on the scoreboard. It's not going to make that much of a difference, because I still think at the end of the day, you're still dealing with wide receiver 4s and wide receiver 5s and trying to make them 1s and 2s in a game against Bill Belichick or in a game against the Dallas Cowboys. Like, it's just there's only so much you can do. Like, I get it. He's got to do a little bit better with what he has, but what he has, can we really say Gage is going to be a prime target on a team like Tampa Bay or a team like Kansas City or a team like these guys are probably, again,
I think they will be utilized better.
Nah, hell no.
If I'm being 100% honest, there's no wide receiver on this team since Ridley's gone, and even Ridley was on the lower end of it, who's going to be a prime target on any like Super Bowl winning team, because they're not that level.
I think Cordero could
but
have,
they can be very.
I think
I don't know if he'd be a
coordinators
prime. If
not a prime, but I think offensive coordinators.
We said it before. If Cordero was on any other team in the league, he would not be doing what he's doing right now.
Because coordinators,
and that's also because the Falcons are 100%, and that's also because the Falcons are completely devoid of talent.
I don't think it's because.
Do you think if Julio and Ridley and Pitts were on the team right now, he would be getting half as many touches as he does?
I think I think he'll still be used. I think honestly,
I don't think so. I think he would be used. I think he'd be used, but I think he would be. I think if we were having this conversation with Julio and them on the team and healthy, we would be talking about Cordero exactly like we're talking about Russell Gage. And I'm not. He's better than Christian Blake. I'm not gonna say that. He's 100% better than Christian Blake.
Because my thing is, he will be getting the Russell Gage targets. He'll be getting the Russell Gage coverage, and I think he's going up against cornerback 3s and 4s. He can beat those type of players, given the fact that the field is being shared with Julio and Kyle Pitts. So I think he was still.
Yeah.
I think
don't think he would be as productive.
I think
honestly, yes.
Honestly, right now, if you put Julio and Ridley and Pitts on the field with Patterson, I think Patterson would still have the same amount of touchdowns he have now. I don't think he'll have as many touches, but I think he would still have as many touchdowns as he has right now because he's going to be.
I'd take like 3 or 4, but like
he'll see a lot more one-on-ones. He'll see a lot more coverage against, again, cornerback forwards, and he can definitely take advantage of those. Coordinators just didn't use him. It's not saying that he was bad. They just did not put him out on the field. That's plain. They thought he was a kick returner. No, this guy can do a lot more.
And Quest, by the way, Russell Gage on Madden is literally broken for the last 3 years. I want that to be known. He literally, I accidentally pressed the wrong button one time, threw that shit up over like triple coverage, and he came down with it like every time. Like he's broken in Madden. He's fucking broken in Madden. But
So-
you can't use like the Madden thing because in Madden you could literally I could get by with running Marvin Hall to get him 1,000 yards in Madden if I run the
I
right
used
play.
to cook with Harry Douglas on Madden, dog. I used to cook with Harry
yeah.
Douglas.
You can't really use like a video game because it's not real. Shit is
So
easy as fuck.
going back to talent real quick, what do you think about the new Olsen greater than Mike Davis takes?
Please keep that away from my timeline.
I
He
don't
was
know.
there for about 30 seconds.
I don't know if he's better than Mike Davis, but I would like to see him get some carries. That's for sure.
Based on 2 10-yard runs.
I've always felt that way. Even when Cutter was here, I've always felt that.
I was
always
like, if you're gonna draft him, give him touches.
right. I always felt he could have been, or he could be. Excuse me. He could be a solid complementary back in this league. He just doesn't get the touches for some reason. I don't know why. Well, last year is because of course they changed. The story was that they changed his running style because his running style was kind of awkward coming out of Pitt. But I've always felt like, I'm not saying he can be a lead back. Absolutely not. I don't believe in that. But I think he can be a nice complementary back and get 8 to 10 carries a game.
I think it's also because he can't pass block and
He can't play, but he does.
Man, I saw those tweets. Mike Davis is really good at pass protection. It's just
his vision is iffy.
While Mike Davis is good at pass pro, Ollison is a special team ace, I guess. Well, I wouldn't even say ace, but he's a special teams body. Like he's willing to play special teams. So I think that's what's really kept him around on the Falcons roster the past couple of years because of that aspect alone. But I think why not? At this point, you have nothing else. You have nothing else going in your running game. What can hurt?
well,
It's not going to change until they fix the way they play.
I
don't know. I'm not going to go like too in depth with because I haven't watched the film from like the O line or whatever. But like, it's all bad. It's like it's all
Mike Davis
bad.
is getting tackled 3 yards in the backfield.
They have 2.5 good linemen,
Those
and the
two
half is
fifth-
McGarry when he decides to actually play decently.
It's bad.
It's gonna be another year where people are gonna be yelling, "Oh, we need to do something about the O line," and nothing is gonna get done with it.
Mike Davis, I think Mike Davis is like in the top 5 in the league in like broken tackles.
Yard after contact and shit.
But I rather take a look at these broken tackles that he's having. Where on the field are they occurring? And a lot of these broken tackles that he's
the line of
scrimmage.
They're fighting for his life back there.
I remember the Giants game when he caught that dump off in the fourth quarter. He broke like 4 tackles, but it was like 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage. he earned that play, but it's like it's the run game is awful mainly because of the run blocking. Like it's terrible.
The interior of the line
is bad.
It's bad. Literally, Lindstrom's my only friend.
Yeah,
It's bad. Yeah,
And Lindstrom can only do so much. Like legitimately, if I had like a bunch of picks in his draft, like if I traded back in his draft, no bullshit, I would be going so hard at like offensive linemen, especially interior. Like it's bad. Like I would remake that entire like 3 of the 5 starters on the line. And
God damn,
Oh,
literally.
that's a lot.
I know it's that bad though, because first
That's
of
a
all,
lot of rookies. That's a lot
Yeah,
of work.
it's a lot. I mean, you can always like bring people along. Again, we don't know what Matt Gono is like. What's the deal with him? I think he's better than McGarry, or he can at least move into one of those guard spots and be good because he was good with it last year.
I think he could too, but he can't stay.
We
healthy.
don't know. Yeah, we don't know. We will never know if he doesn't stay healthy. We can never find out. It's just like at some point, like you just gotta. They had plenty of chances to, even in the draft last year where they took like Darren Hall and Jalen Mayfield. They had chances to make it better, if not.
And he took Drew Dahlman. To be quite honest with you, is just a Matt Hennessy clone. Let's just be honest.
They are the exact same player.
They're both undersized. They're both not very strong.
They're both, but they can move their feet, and occasionally, every 20 players get to the second level.
Of course, you can move your feet when you're backpedaling 6
Somebody push you.
Of course, yeah, you damn sure can move.
Oh my god. So I guess this wasn't a topic. So draft needs. Jalen thinks the offensive line needs a.
I know. Look. You need everything. If I'm being honest,
right?
You need everything.
They need upgrades on both sides of the ball. But right now, if I were GM, I'm focusing on definitely edge rusher. But I'm trying to upgrade the trenches, and I'm trying to use the draft to upgrade the trenches. I think I'll probably double dip at edge. I'll definitely get at least one starter on offensive line. If he's not my first pick, I can't leave the second round without an offensive lineman. I can't. So I think those are my needs, upgrading the trenches on both sides.
I think if they decide to go like offensive line or defensive line first, offensive line second, defensive line third, and then like shit like that, I would not complain, because if this is, I'm not projecting or anything. I hope Arthur Smith is very good for a very long time, and I hope he's actually, because I don't like switching coaches, and unless you're getting a new quarterback. Like if you're switching a coach and then getting a new quarterback with that coach, then I'll be more okay with it.
Who fires a rookie head coach 10 games into his season?
Okay, I know because that was never going to happen. But
sounds dumb.
But like, unless you're getting a quarterback, and I hope he's really good. Again, he only has 2 years after this season to prove that he belongs in the league.
We talked about that, Taylor. We talked about that whole kick the can to 2023.
Yeah, and then they're banking a ton on Matt Ryan saving their lives.
Man, because
they're banking a ton.
If Father Time goes to Matt and say, "Hey, man, it's
time to clock out, buddy. Go ahead and log off for me, baby."
Ain't nothing we can do about it, man. Father Time appears when it wants to.
And then it is going to be wraps, because
it's going to be,
you're out of a job because you didn't want to take a quarterback. I don't even want to bring it up anymore.
I get it.
That's doom. That's doom right there.
I get with the, hey, let's stick with Matt because Matt can still be productive if they upgrade the talent around him. But I also get like, hey, man, you don't know. Like Matt is 36. You don't know. You can wake up tomorrow. He can wake up tomorrow and tweak his back, and you don't know when it comes to that.
They're on it, and the whole thing about the let's build the roster around Matt Ryan while he's still here, and then hope like that is wishful thinking, because that is with 2 years of not having cap this year, well, this last offseason and then this next one, you're not going to have any money, and then you have to hit on every single pick in the draft.
And
that is banking on a lot of luck.
And hope that it again, Father Time is one thing, but it doesn't help when your quarterback is taking these hits that he's taking. He's already dealing with age. But again, it's something totally different when he's
every week this man is bleeding or like fixing something. Like it's bad.
It doesn't help. It doesn't help when he's getting blasted every week. Like that's pushing him closer and closer and closer to Father Time. Let's just be honest here. So I'm not saying let's trade Matt this offseason and get rid of him. No. I'm just saying, like, okay, you want to kick that can for another year. You skating, man. You are skating.
Well, that's what makes the draft kind of difficult because, as Jalen's saying, we need essentially to replace a majority of the offensive line. But as we all know, it takes, as you see with the line we have now, we're having communication issues. With these are guys that have been in the league,
Takes
so it
time.
typically takes like 3 or 4 or 5 years for guys to become competent players. So the mindset is you're going to invest these resources because you have Matt Ryan, but by the time these guys are actually ready to play, Eric said, Father Time, Matt Ryan might not be here. So like we're kind of in this this holding cycle of it's kind
Every
of
time he gets hit, you gotta hold your breath and hope he gets up.
Every single time, especially when he gets up holding his foot.
Bro, when he did that, I was like, "Ooh!"
He was, like, oh my god, it's starting. It's starting. Like it's just, I go back to that Rams game a couple years ago, man. You know, the type of hits he took in that game. I mean, he was brutalized. And again, man, it's you gotta in this league, you're one hit away from not having a quarterback at all. So
I think I saw that they have the 9th pick in the draft right now. So Eric,
we done jumped.
They have the 9th pick right now. I'm hoping they don't pick in the top 10 because I really need them.
I was about to ask you if a gun to your head right now, you can't trade back or anything. Who are you taking at 9?
It depends on who's there. I'm not taking a quarterback.
Agree.
I'm not taking a quarterback.
I could use that to tie into the whole last year thing, how you had 4 and then there were like 4 options you could have picked, or it was really 2 options you could have picked there. And then, I'm not going to go for that.
I'm not taking it. If I'm stuck at 9 and I can't move, I'm looking at edge, defensive tackle, and corner. The only reason I don't say offensive line is because I don't expect Evan Neal to be at 9.
He's going like 4. I'm not kidding.
Top 5. I don't expect him to be at 9.
He might go 1 or like 2 to like the Jacksonville or some shit. Like no bullshit. He's that good.
The Jets have 2 right now.
Oh, yeah. Well, that makes even more sense.
Yeah, CBS Sports has Neal projected at 2 to the Jets.
Okay. All right. I wouldn't say that's a huge need for him right now, but okay.
They have us projected to get Kenyon Green from Texas.
Guard?
That's what the CBS Sports is saying.
No comment. No comment.
Well, it's tied to protecting Matt Ryan, so you know.
Well, yeah, but
I'm gonna say this hot take live right now. We have got to stop doing things in favor of. We had a conversation about this in the DM breed, by the way. We should probably talk about that. We have got to stop doing things in favor of protecting Matt Ryan at this very moment. Because if you keep investing resource after resource after resource after resource, and you don't hit on any of them, you are devoiding the rest of your roster with talent that you can definitely have.
Kenyon Green is, look, when it comes to guard, in the top 10, first of all, he better be Quentin Nelson.
I was about to say, he better be fucking Quentin Nelson.
He better be Quentin Nelson. And I'm not quite sure Kenyon Green is that type of prospect this year. There's a better guard out of North Carolina State that I believe if they trade down, they can come and aim for. But taking one at 9, given the other deficiencies on the roster, like no, I rather use, if I'm staying in the top 10, I'd rather use that on a premium pick. Unless he's Quentin Nelson, which of course we don't really know, but still, like that's a rarity. But at 9, I'm using it on a premium pick. So I'm getting me an edge rusher, I'm getting me a corner. I might kick the can around a little bit on Jordan Davis at 9.
I know why you do.
Because he's a rare specimen.
He's so good.
Here's
the thing. My only reservation with Jordan Davis, because first of all, I agree with you. My pick would either be Jordan Davis or the corner or a corner, because I don't think any of the edges right there I don't like them as much at 9.
Unless
If it was like 13 or 14, then I would be like, hell yeah. But if
unless
it's at
by some type of
9,
miracle Hutchinson was still there or not.
yeah, and he's going like 2 or
He's
like
probably
1.
right.
Like,
Right.
like
Right.
it's no doubt. Like they'd have to lose out the rest of the season. Everybody else would have to win for them to be able to get him. He's so
Right.
fucking good. But
Right.
my only thing with Jordan Davis is he's a hell of a player. I don't think we talked about this last week. I don't think there's any way that he's not at the very least a good player where you can use him in a lot of spots.
Mhm.
You don't make him like that.
Mhm.
They don't make like he's a mountain. I am a very large human being, and he makes me look like a fucking child,
Mhm. Well, he makes Devontae Wyatt look like a little kid.
bro.
I
It's
saw that
literally
thing,
that
right?
picture. Jesus, bro. It's Devontae like
Yeah.
6'3", 315, and Jordan
6'3",
Davis is like,
a little kid. Oh my
I want
God.
to see Jordan Davis next to Simone Biles. That's we need to make that happen somewhere
And
out there.
the reason why, and I don't know if individuals need this type of breakdown, but the reason why I would take a guy like that is because Jordan Davis can open up a rock in the middle like that in a 3-4 scheme can open up so much.
he would literally make Deion Jones look good again.
He will. Well, Deion's not going to be here next year to play.
Again, I'm just saying, if he was here, like a player like Deion, he would make him look good again.
He can. One reason why these linebackers are having trouble with run fits is because there's no true nose tackle. So you're having your offensive linemen are getting to the second level with ease in this defense. There's so much trash as a linebacker that you have to filter around. You're out of run plays easily because of that. Because you're trying to avoid blockers. Jordan
Especially when you're fucking 130 pounds like Deion
Right.
Jones.
Jordan Davis eliminates that because
he takes 3 players to block half the time.
You go from Tyler Davison, who's 6'2", 305, and you go
to 6'6", 340.
330. He's taking all 3 of these offensive linemen in front of him and saying, "You guys are not going anywhere." Okay, I just want to let you guys know that shit. Like that's just how, and he opens that up. He takes he takes one less double team away from Grady Jarrett. Grady Jarrett's going to see a whole lot of he's going to see a ton of
he'll get one-on-ones.
When it comes to the blitzing aspect, again, your blitzing lanes are going to be bigger. Why? Because
he's taking 2 people
with this mountain right here that you're just going to have like a huge lane to blitz. So he opens up. So not to mention if Jordan wanted to, if he decided to, become a pass rusher and get after the quarterback. Oh, now you got this 6'6" lineman that's crashing the interior. He just tossed your center to the sideline, and now he's making a beeline towards you. Like he opens up a lot for this defense. So
now, literally, like I don't know why I just got this thought. Imagine Jordan Davis just like putting his like jumping up, like putting his hands up on like a Baker Mayfield pass because Baker Mayfield's like short. And just swatting it down like 6 times a game. I don't know why that just popped in my head. It was funny.
Oh, just imagine him getting a bead on the snap, and all of a sudden he's chasing Tom Brady.
The crazy part.
Brady's looking up. It's like, oh shit.
Besides like Russell Wilson and like I don't know, like the super fast quarterback, like of course like Lamar and Justin will outrun him. There's not. I think Jordan Davis legitimately in his 40 is gonna run like a 4.9, and I would not be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised if he hits a 4.8. Honestly, I wouldn't.
Neither would I. I would say a 4.9 to be safe.
He's that type of athlete, man.
Bro, there's a clip that I keep seeing that keeps getting like put around where he ran down like a running back, bro. Like it was bad. Like I would have been terrified. But yeah, my only problem with Jordan Davis is he is like the 3rd best player on the defense right now, which is crazy because Georgia's even just fucking loaded. But
you're not on the Jordan Davis for Heisman train like everybody else is?
I mean, I would take it. He's that fucking good. He's that impactful. I just think like
he's a Heisman candidate. Let's be honest.
Yeah, he's a lineman. They're not gonna win that shit.
Oh,
him even being mentioned in there.
Say it again, Bruce.
It's a quarterback award, pretty much.
Remember when Ndamukong Suh was a Heisman?
Yeah, that's why he's not gonna win it.
And didn't Sue have how many sacks he had that year? Definitely, probably a dozen, maybe a little bit more, and he still didn't win. That's an offensive player award, like a quarterback specifically. But the fact that he's even mentioned should give him some kind of merit.
You see, they
It's
got a
just-
little touchdown too
it's
against
just-
Charleston Southern, all that.
That shit
jazz.
was so
trying
funny
to-
because he
trying to
just
boost-
died.
Trying to boost
Like he ran over the pile and just died. Like didn't move.
Yeah, that was like low key, a very sloppy.
I didn't even
touchdown.
care. I was
Well-
weak. But it's
Well,
only
kinda-
again. I keep getting. Let me finish this real quick. I keep getting thrown off track. But the only problem I have with him is the fact that Jalen Carter is going to be eligible next year, and he's a better like overall player than Jordan Davis right now. Just because he's a much better pass rusher and he's not as good against the run because he's not fucking massive, but he's still pretty damn good.
Yeah, I mean, I know nose tackle is not a sexy position, but in this particular scheme with this particular elements with this particular defense coordinator, like you have to have one. Like you can't just get by with putting Tyler Davidson out there. And I don't even know if they really have anything in the future in terms of Anthony Rush. Like, I mean, I'm kind of interested to see how he pans out a little bit as well.
I need more reps from him.
He doesn't fit that Jordan Davis mold in terms of body type, but he's not a small man by any means. He's 6'4", 320, which is still pretty
He's
good.
more wide than he is like long.
He's
Stout.
more of a gut.
So, kind of doubling back to the point to kind of wrap on what Jalen said. So, what we're saying, going back to the point of like, hey, we can't continue to kind of be like, hey, we have to kind of build the team around our aging quarterback, Matt Ryan. Jeff sent a tweet to the group chat showing Matt Ryan's defensive standings rankings over the years. And there's a block from 2015 to 2020 where it's 24, 24, 25, 30, 27, 23 in the offense is ranked 8, 1 obviously being the Super Bowl year, 6, 6, and 9. And my comment to Jalen in the chat was this kind of fuels the whole Matt Ryan doesn't deserve this narrative. And Jalen replied he doesn't. And I was like, hey, nobody smart that I respect is saying he does, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was essentially saying that it's kind of a moot point because, like Jalen was saying, if you have the opportunity to get premium talent where we need talent everywhere, we can't keep tying up that capital into the offense because, again, betting on Matt Ryan as he continues to age, if that doesn't pan out, now we're like, well, shit, the rest of the team has all these holes because we try to plug them all in and put all the resources that we've been doing for the majority of Matt Ryan's tenure into the offense. The defense of covered empty.
Hanging the dry, right.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. I'm not saying that, like, I don't know who people are saying he deserves
I know the way.
I never understand these takes on Twitter, like, like that's going to be like the first quarter, things are going bad. Oh, it's time to blame Matt Ryan. Nobody's saying these things. You guys are saying these things. Like,
no one's saying it would, and with when you put it that way, Breeze, like it makes sense, honestly, this offseason, if there's more of a free agency approach with the offense, at least, where you're not taking the young players that you're going to need to develop because time is not on their side when it comes to Matt Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
So now you may be better invested getting more of a, former starter at right tackle than getting a rookie right tackle or getting, a guy that's coming off his rookie contract at receiver than getting, a brand new receiver that needs to take 2 or 3 years to develop. Time is not on your side. So it may be better for them to have that veteran approach on offense and maybe use the draft to kind of just stockpile on talent on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, I'm just looking at it that way because, you guys make a point. Like, you can't just keep investing in protecting Matt Ryan because, as you said, the defense has been so lackluster over all these years. Like, you have to build that up at some point. Like, at what point are you going to make that better? And you trying to build around Matt, even though Matt's probably going to be gone in about 3 or 4 years.
Like, giving him that?
If we're lucky.
If we're lucky, right.
I'm giving him until the end of next year at this rate.
That's the hope. That's the hope. But
they're having him still throw the ball 30 times a game, getting hit 25 times, like 56 times a season. Like,
So that's why I say it'd be interesting to see if they take that approach. Like, hey, instead of just getting a rookie right tackle that's going to need some time to develop, why don't we just get a guy that's been there before that can, protect the front side of Matt a little bit? You see what I'm saying? Like, instead of just
or to kind of go back to the beginning, let's coach these guys up better. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all we got at this point. Like,
we don't have time. How long is it going to take to coach up McGarry? He's been in this 4 years. You need another 4 years to develop.
If we can't find nobody else, man, like, this is what we got. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what we got covered. We got to make this gumbo, dog. Like, let's get it. So
we got time, bro.
I think it's much of we applaud Matt Ryan for being like adaptable to all the schemes, because he's literally played in like 17 schemes in his career.
Oh god, yeah,
I'm exaggerating.
No, outside of Julio and Jake, there's really been
not
a whole lot of continuity for Matt in his career. Like,
I was about to say, we really got to applaud like first Jake Matthews for being like solid. Like however you think about him, you can't deny he has been solid.
Oh, some
basically, Josh,
right?
Who think he's just like completely awful and everything, but like he's been solid his entire tenure. Like I've thoroughly enjoyed having him on my team, and I would be hard pressed to find somebody beside like a Hall of Famer or something who would be doing like a lot better than he has. So I'm very appreciative of him. But at the same time, it's got to be hard for any like quarterback or anything, or like continuity wise, like lineman, to be like, all right, we're gonna run this scheme this year. Nope, not doing that anymore. We're gonna run this scheme this year. Nope, we're not doing that no more. Halfway through the season, firing him. We're gonna do this again.
All right, guys, we're gonna keep this same language as we did last year. Nope, we're
gonna keep the same language that we did last year, but run it a completely different way. So like that's gotta be tough. Like,
all right, at least I'm gonna hand off to the same running back from last year. No, he's.
Oh wait, shit, he's not here either.
He left in free agency.
He knows it'll take me maybe like a split second to get my hand on him, because I have a shorter arm than this one. So like maybe he'll be able to like slow it down a little bit instead of running right into my fucking back.
Well, at least I can depend on Julio being out there.
Oh wait, yeah, I'll pass block Julio down there somewhere. Oh shit, wait. Calvin's here.
About that. Yeah.
Don't worry, guys. We got Pitts. He's getting triple teamed.
Shit. Or dropping passes. But yeah.
Is Austin still here?
Hooper? Oh yeah, that was my guy, man. He always ran in the film room with us. Shit, he's in Cleveland.
He's in Cleveland, man. You didn't get that email? Could have sworn.
What about Turbo? You don't even got a job. Golly.
Where's Dan? Oh,
God, we just played him. How about Sanu? We'll play him in 3 weeks.
Right.
Yeah. So this kind of sums up what the Falcons are dealing with. Like, I guess
now I'm just mad again. It's crazy how
let me ask this question. I'm pretty sure I probably asked this question last show, but do you guys think it's reasonable, given how the team is built now, given what they probably will have this offseason in terms of cap space, which is not going to be a whole lot, but they can be able to do a few moves here and there. Given and like I said, given the structure of the roster, do you guys think it's reasonable for them to have a decent enough offseason to get some considerable talent here and have more of a competitive team in 2022? Or do you guys honestly think like, okay, it's going to take probably 2 years to build this thing to respectability?
Respectable / competitive. They should have been that this year in most of the games. I don't think it like you have.
You don't have the talent.
You have a good quarterback.
We could not be respectable.
You have a good quarterback, so most of the time that will at least make you somewhat competitive. But
you're not stuck with that lack of talent.
Yeah.
So, all right.
But
so
I think it would take, with this situation in particular, I think it would take more like 2 more off seasons, because like I keep saying, like next season, you're gonna have to make some tough moves, and that's basically replacing maybe like 7 starters.
So you don't think next season could be a year where they can reasonably go like 9-8 or maybe 10-7 and make some noise?
I would say this is if we do this shit, then like you can come back to this. I think as it stands right now, they would go like 7-10 instead of like what I think they're gonna go 5-12 this year. I think it'll be better. I don't think it will be good.
Okay.
I 100% agree with Jalen. I don't, with the amount of talent infusion that we need in this team, and with
Again,
our cap
this could
situation-
be completely different. They could trade back 76 times in the draft, pick up a whole bunch of actual NFL, like good NFL players. One of those, like I don't know, maybe 4 of those, like 10 players you pick could be actually good from day one. You could even make the playoffs with that shit. But as it stands right now, I don't know.
Not with this roster, of course. But you do foresee some construction happening on this roster next offseason, right?
I fucking hope so.
Yeah,
the worst thing they could do is be like, all right, that shit didn't work, tear it all down, because that would piss me off.
I don't like.
That would piss me off.
Like, honestly, man, rebuilding is for me, rebuilding is out of the question.
It was out of the question as soon as they didn't want to do it. If rebuilding is a new regime / first year thing,
yeah,
every year after that, unless you were fucking Bill Belichick, it does not work.
You don't rebuild in year 2, given what they have.
Literally,
Breeze, you feel otherwise? You looking like you want to?
Nah, but this is going back to the whole Arthur Smith, Terry Fontenot regime that it's going to be judged years from now from if they're still around from these decisions. Like Jalen was saying earlier, that the bill of goods sold earlier in the season was this is not a rebuild, right? But as we stand now, this team is looking like it's in a rebuild, but it's not a rebuild. You know what I'm saying? So again, we have the benefit of hindsight at this moment.
I can't say it's a rebuild.
Okay. No talent.
If you don't have any talent,
no
you have
space,
to rebuild your shit.
Questionable draft.
But if you
I can't say it because rebuilds don't have a franchise quarterback. Rebuilds don't have.
You can rebuild with a franchise quarterback.
You rarely see them. Like when you rebuild, like you start completely from scratch. You don't keep the veteran quarterback,
which they could have done.
They could have, but it could have really put them in serious debt for a very long time. However, I can't look at it as it's a unique situation. That's how I'm gonna say it, because normally you don't see these type of situations like this where you have a veteran quarterback, veteran left tackle, a veteran piece in Grady Jarrett, then you have a young star to make it an AJ Terrell. Like there's too many components in place for me to say, okay, yeah, they're starting from scratch. Like no, like.
I don't want to use retool though, because they are so much farther from just.
They're not. Yeah, it's not a retool. The Jets were starting from. The Jets were rebuilt. The Texans were rebuilding.
Yes, absolutely.
And though that situation compared to this is completely different.
Completely different.
Well, then
for the teams and then also from the teams that are retooling, like. Let's say I don't know. You could say the 49ers are retooling or the Steelers are retooling. They're like a couple pieces away from being like right back there because their team is good. Right. The Falcons team is not good. After those 4 or 5 players that you just said, there is nobody on this team who even has a hope of being an All-Pro or a Pro Bowler or a starter on a championship team. They're rotational players.
Yeah.
So that puts us in limbo because, again, you said we have these key
purgatory as usual.
Yeah, but the people we need to actually get on the team, talent-wise, we're not going to have the ability to fill in all those holes. So, like I said, I'm agree with Jalen.
But I think you can fill enough holes, at least this upcoming offseason, to say, all right, you know what? They might be able to win a few games. I'm not saying they're going to win a division and take it from Tampa Bay. And no, I'm just saying, like, I think there's enough in place now, given what I anticipate they're going to have this offseason, and given the coaching staff and the regime that they have, to say, all right, you know what? If they upgrade at receiver, get an edge rusher, upgrade at corner.
Upgraded
little bit better.
safety, upgraded
Whoa,
linebacker,
no,
upgraded defensive tackle, upgraded.
No, because I just said they're not going to be able. They're not going to be able to do
That's
everything like that in
eight
offseason.
players.
But listen, but they're not going to be able to do everything like that in the offseason. But what I'm saying is, like, if given what they have, if they just, like I said, if they get a better run game, get another weapon for Matt Ryan, possibly get an edge rusher, and maybe get a little help at corner, you might be able to win a few extra games. Now, that's stuff that can be handled in the draft and in free agency.
And then you're wondering how realistic that is for them to be good.
So it's not a long list of like the paper's not rolling down like, oh my god.
Technically, rebuilding or retooling a team is very simple. Like, what you're bad at, go get those players. But like in this situation, when you're bad at like everything,
in this situation, for them to really have like, okay, they can win 12 games this year. Like that's far down the line.
Wait, you're telling me that wasn't realistic? I remember seeing somebody be like they want to win like 11 games this season.
Who said that?
It's probably somewhere on Falcons Twitter. I saw I got retweeted somewhere.
Who said it? I said 9.
Not you. Nobody in here.
No, I'm just saying 9-win team at best, and I said 9 wins. And there's a couple games that just somehow, some way we look at and say, how the hell did they win that game? And
I said 5.
They would have had 1 in the Saints. So
I said 5.
But yeah, I think where they are and what they can have this offseason, I think is reasonable enough to say, hey, if they just get a couple pieces here and there on both sides of the ball, I think they can honestly be a much more respectable team next year. Not a playoff team, but they can be a team where we can look at and say, hey, you know what? They're 9-8. They're
My only problem with that will be.
I think I know what you're gonna say. I agree.
Yeah.
With that. I think what you're gonna say.
My only problem with that is going to be if you're 9-8, you're picking in the middle of the draft, and you better fucking hope
that there is a quarterback that falls that far. You have to pray.
He probably will.
You have to hope he's good.
Well, yeah, but you're also. We
have to hope and pray.
And you and I are not going to sit here and make that foolish mistake and sit here and say, oh, they'll definitely find a quarterback in 2022 draft. No,
we don't know that.
That's not for certain. We can't say that now. I know you guys see the rumor about GMs across the league thinking there's going to be 4 quarterbacks picked in this upcoming draft, which is
will be.
It probably will be, which also means there's probably going to be some quarterbacks in the 2022 draft. That doesn't mean they're good. That doesn't mean they're worthy.
They're going to get picked, but
in the first round,
there's going to be like one good one.
It's just that quarterbacks get picked a lot in the first round, like that.
Because they're that important.
That's how the game, right? That's how it goes. We saw EJ Manuel get picked 16th overall.
Oh, brother. We saw Dwayne Haskins get picked in the first overall.
We saw Christian Ponder be a top 10 pick.
Another Florida State legend. Let's go.
Glenn Dorsey.
University of Miami. He was balling out there though. Glenn Dorsey.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Kim Dorsey. My bad. I haven't eaten dinner yet. We're just gonna keep it going. So you're saying that. So what is it? To Jalen's point, I thought your point was going to be that, hey, if we're looking at a team that's winning 9 games, that's going to be dependent on the offense and Matt Ryan, right?
Probably.
I guess, and like you said, if we don't find a quarterback that, hey, this team's looking good,
he'll be 38 at the end of that. Like halfway into that season.
Yeah. So unless you can have a Patrick Mahomes-esque situation where you can slide him into that roster and continue to be great.
Luxury.
Whew. Yeah, that was what I was told, or what I saw on Twitter was the plan, is to have a competent team, and so build up a team around this team, and then once Matt Ryan hits, the time for him to eject out the team, to slide in and bring your guy in. Draft.
I kind of like that idea, actually.
But it's dependent on us winning, which is
it depends on winning, and depends on you, just like Kansas City, striking gold in the draft. Because let's just be honest, they got fucking lucky to have a situation where you had a playoff team with Alex Smith, and you still drafted Patrick Mahomes, and you still had Mahomes sit for a year or two, and then you just slot him in, and then 2 years later, you're Super Bowl champions. That rarely.
They got 1,000% lucky as hell because
That rarely happens.
They traded up for Mahomes. Alex Smith was decent. He could have won them a champion. In quote, technically could have won them a championship. Was it probably ever going to happen? Absolutely not, because
you rarely see playoff teams again. First of all, draft that. Was that even their original draft pick? Because they
traded up.
Yeah, they traded up.
From where?
I think that was the year. I think that was the year that Alex Smith got hurt for a little bit. It wasn't his like broken ankle or some shit thing. He was hurt for a little bit. They had like the 16th pick and they traded up to 12, I think.
I could have sworn I thought they made the playoffs that year. Or did they make the playoffs the following year?
They made the playoffs the following year because Alex Smith was back.
And they beat Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
and then Alex Smith was back, got hurt, and then Mahomes stepped in, and then the rest is history.
You rarely see that happen, man. Teams that are able to do something like that's amazing. And you can't count on that. So
that's what should have been the Falcon. Like, I don't know, 3 years ago, when after the 2017 season, the year where everybody was hurt, the 2018 season, everybody was hurt, all that bullshit was happening. They picked what, like 16? They got Lindstrom.
14.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that they picked 14 and they got Lindstrom. That should have been the start of like their luck period where they're a good team still.
No,
they just fell off.
I just wish they would have been super aggressive after that Super Bowl and say, you know what, we're gonna run it back, but we're gonna also try to inject some more pieces into this thing. But they just defined the word complacency after that Super Bowl.
They were like, all right, we're just gonna run it back. We just got there.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there, guys. We're gonna get back there.
Never mind the fact that the person who helped us get there most of the time just went to go be a head coach somewhere, or the fact that half the people who we were relying on after Desmond Trufant's injury are not in the league anymore. But like, hey, let's run it back, guys.
You guys do understand that part of the reason why we got there is a little bit because of luck, because our
100%. It's always winning a championship in every sport is like 60% luck.
But I just didn't look like the defense was hot ass until like the last 4 weeks.
Until the last like 6 weeks of the season.
And y'all really was like, yo, let's run that back, bro. We're gonna be all right.
They went from giving up 29 points every other week into the offense putting up 40 to being like, all right, shut down.
Let's give up 26.
Instead of giving up 29, let's give up 20 this time. The offense still gonna put up 20. Let's gonna put up 35, but let's give up 20 points. Like that's the litmus test of being like, yeah, let's give up 20 fucking points.
Right.
Yeah, and just to kind of go back to projections for next year, I think I heard that next year's schedule on paper is supposed to be tougher than this year's.
Correct? It depends on where they land because the schedule is always you play your team and then you play, I don't know, they play the NFC East this time.
Yeah, this year.
So they'll probably play the NFC.
They play the East this year.
Yeah, so they'll probably play like the West or something like that next year.
Who did they play last year?
Whatever it'll be one of the NFC like divisions, and
they
then
played the North last year,
so they'll play the West next year.
So
and then it'll be whatever you land like on your schedule. If you land fourth place in your division, you'll play other fourth place teams in their division.
Oh, great! We'll play the Rams and the Cardinals.
Well, we'll play the Rams or the 49ers again, or the like oh boy.
Again, we got to make sure that
it's gonna be
do,
easier, guys. It's gonna
we got to hit. This is gonna fall solely at the feet of Arthur Smith and Terry Fox.
We got the AFC South. No, not the AFC South this year. Who we got? We got the
Aaron
AFC.
said it's the NFC West and the AFC North.
Hashtag pack.
So we get to play. We get to play Stafford, Kyler, maybe Russell. I put a
Trey
Stafford
Lance
to it, and then we get to play Lamar, Burrow,
the Cleveland Demons,
Miles.
Again, I would agree with Jalen's point, man.
Help!
Yep. Go ahead and pack it up.
like I said, 7 wins, man. Like if they win 7 games next year, I will be excited.
Like I said, whatever we got in the cupboard, man, we might just coach these boys up because we don't have enough ammo to actually get what we need to fill in this roster. So it's gonna be
man.
dark times for the Atlanta Falcons. So I had a way to end the podcast in a very negative note. Can we say what? Like, is there anything positive? Hawks, go Hawks! The Braves won the World Series. That's what they do now to kind of ease the pain for Atlanta sports fans.
Right, yeah, whatever. I'm not a Braves fan. I'm not a Braves fan. What
I'm
am I
not either. I'm not either, but a majority of the listeners.
I am a Braves fan. I don't give a shit about baseball. Like, I was glad they won. I don't watch baseball, man. Like, I need a football team or like the Hawks to win for me to be like excited. I don't give a shit about baseball.
I need a football team to win games, man. I see everybody else talking about their teams, and I'm like, man, who's your team? Let's not talk about that.
Look, I don't want to talk. Like, hey, why are you asking questions?
Change the subject, man. Change the subject, bro. I don't even like football.
Yeah, like I gotta deal with the Falcon, and then I'm gonna knock on wood, deal with UGA's impending doom. Like,
who a Falcons fan?
You just slowly put your finger up, just like.
Yeah, that happened the other day, actually, in the highlight week. Oh, who a Falcons fan? Eric.
Damn, bro.
I let them know for the jump. We trash. Like, ain't gonna be no arguing with me. Like, whatever you about to say, I agree.
Everybody be like, "Oh, you're a Falcons fan. They suck." I'm like, I know. Yep. I want them to suck.
Absolutely.
You a Falcons fan? 28-3.
So I guess as we wrap for the second time, what are our predictions for the Jaguars as we face the earlier embattled Urban Meyer, who had his job saved essentially by beating the Bills?
But if Cordero plays, I think
this game is going to end up being a dogfight, and I legitimately think that the Falcons might lose it. I don't think they will, but there's a very real possibility that Trevor Lawrence completely dices up these fools.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
It's T-Law is going to have like 400 yards, like 4 touchdowns.
Trevor Lawrence is going to have that breakout game, bro.
And they have no wide receivers on their team. They have like
no healthy receivers at least.
Yeah, like it's going to be.
They got some injuries at the running back.
Chark is out for the year. Laviska can't stay healthy. Same with Marvin Jones, but yeah. I don't think Moreau is going to have a good enough time with Laviska. I don't. That's not going to be a fun. That's not going to be a fun match.
You know, we're talking about the Lions because everybody knows the Lions traded their quarterback. Huh. They traded their quarterback for a worse quarterback, and everybody knew they were rebuilding. No one talks about them because this is what happened when you openly say, "I am rebuilding my team."
Even though he also, what was that quote he said? He also said that they were the best team in the league on the NFC North or some shit like that.
Well, yeah, that's coach speak. You know, they ain't gonna say nothing like that. Everybody like
No. Jared Goff said that.
Oh well, yeah. We don't listen to Jared Goff. He don't know what he's doing anyway. He can't play quarterback right. I don't know why we over here expecting him to talk right. We don't listen to him.
But yeah, if Cordero plays, I think it'll be honestly, I think it'll be a closer than expected game for 4 quarters, but they'll pull it out. I'll say 28-24.
17-13.
If Cordero doesn't play, I'm taking the Jags.
Well, looking at their team stats, they're almost the exact same team. Points per game, Falcons 70.8, Jags 15.9. Points allowed per game, Falcons 28.8, Jags 26.2. Total yards per game, 323 yards.
Look at DVOA.
Falcons.
The Falcons are the worst. I'm just saying, if you look at DVOA, the Falcons are the worst team in the league, and the fucking Jags are right next to them.
Man, I don't. All things even if Cordero Patterson is playing, I'm going to pick the Jags to win only because of Trevor Lawrence's mobility. That's what I'm gonna go with. We can't rush the passer. He can move. He has a laser cannon.
He damn sure can throw. He ain't got.
Yeah.
I don't even have to worry about him pulling the ball down and running.
Yeah. So that's
They're not gonna get to him. So you're gonna pick him apart. I see
yeah.
it.
So I'm gonna pick the Jags. Not my second team, but I did live in Jacksonville. I got people out there, so I do keep up with the Jaguars. So
I think Josh Allen gets 2 sacks.
Depends on who they put him against.
Gary,
pick the mark. Pick your poison. Pick the weakest link.
he gets 2 sacks.
He's see, Josh Allen's the kind of pass rusher who, if he went against Jake Matthews, I think Jake Matthews would do a pretty damn good job on him. He's not like a super like powerful rusher. Jake does really pretty well against the speed rusher because he's very good. Yeah. So, but Gary can't handle speed rush because his feet are too slow. So he literally gets beat on every speed rush.
He's not long.
Yeah, he's fucking stubby arms. Like I got longer arms than him, and he's 6'7". Like that's no excuse.
So this will be a cool little matchup, because it's got two rookie head coaches going against each other with two teams that on paper seem pretty similar. So this will be a coaching battle.
Hope Urban shows up to the game like drunk or something like that, or
This is the game that will define my agenda. I'm saying the Jags win by 10 because if they win, that means the Falcons get like a top 5 pick. Let's go.
Let's fucking go.
He gets caught with another woman the night before the game or something like that. Let's just hope that happens.
Yo, that man was doing everything in his power to get fired, and then they beat the Bills, so he's going to be around for the next.
Oh my God, the Bills! I don't even want to talk about them. Oh,
You know what? We were talking about the Bills in the meeting today, man. I think it's time to really hang that question mark over them. Like, how legitimate are they? Because
their defense is not as good as I thought it was, man.
It's not as good as we thought it was.
Josh Allen's back to being Josh Allen. He's not back to being Mahomes.
They are the thing with the Bills, and it's scary because they are good. They can be good. They're talented, but if they're
don't we play them.
Their fate literally hangs on which Josh Allen shows up to the stadium. Literally. It's not a game where it's like, okay, Josh Allen is playing bad, but you know what? This defense is bailing them out. No, if Josh Allen is playing bad, then the
Colts are legitimate if they can get 200 yards rushing on the ground every time. I'm not trusting Carson Wentz to win me a game at this point in his career.
The Colts' run game is legitimate. Their defense can make some plays. But just like Jalen, I don't know if I trust Carson.
Like they could be like they're fun to watch. Like I love me some good running teams. Like if you're not running that like the 2016 Falcons offense where every play is wide open and you get like 30 yards a catch. I love me a good running team because that shit looks beautiful. Like I love it.
The Colts have the makeup of a team that other teams don't want to play late in the year going into the playoffs.
Yeah, they be trying to take it easy, but like, all right, we got this thing up. We're not trying to get our fucking face pushed in every play.
Those are the teams you try to stay away from. You try to stay away from the teams that can run the ball whenever they feel like it, and the teams that, you know, their defenses are not stout, but man, they're very opportunistic. And every time you turn around, they're making key plays. That's just who the Colts are right now, and yeah. But the Bills, what's up?
Side note, the game score for Buccaneers and Giants is 30-10, and Tom Brady's out the game midway third.
It was over a long time ago, bro.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like for us, we're taking our quarterback out the game in the fourth quarter for the opposite reasons, because the game has been over for the other team.
Man, no bullshit. They should have just after the first drive of the second half against the Cowboys, they should have just been like, fuck it.
Oh, look, their quarterback did come in and immediately throw a pick, but he got sacked though. But anywho, yeah. Oh man, Matt Ryan would look great in the Colts though. But anywho, you got any shout outs, guys?
No, actually, I don't have any. I don't think so. Shout out to Lethal, who's still struggling to get her power back on. That's why she didn't make the show tonight.
A whole 2 hours later.
Yeah. Oh my God.
She got problems with her power. Girl, it's off. Just say it.
We're not going to judge you any. Well,
we're not. Well, we might. I don't know. Man, electricity still get cut.
Oh man.
Shout out to Aaron as usual.
Shout out to Josh too, man, who didn't make the show. Why he didn't make the show, man?
He might be on the Calvin Ridley taking a mental break plan. I don't know. I don't know why he's not here. But
Josh like blocked all of us and they just like left. So I don't know.
Yeah, what?
I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. We'll talk after the show. We'll talk after the show, bro.
Who only fans? Lethal.
Lethal. Yeah.
She showing
man.
a forehead. She ain't showing that.
Wowzers. Yeah. Yeah, definitely shout out to Aaron, of course. Again, I don't know how he does this every day. I've said this before, man. Like, yeah, I'm talking about potting about the Falcons. Like, he's got
he is
stronger mental.
No cap.
Yeah.
Respect, like full respect to Aaron, bro, because he be going in depth with everything. He be talking about things. Like, I get pissed off talking about these fools for 20 minutes. Like, this man be talking about them every day for like 30 minutes.
Yeah,
bro. Yeah.
Definitely sub to the YouTube.
Better man than me.
And again, I've said this before many times. Falcons Twitter would be a so much better place if more people would listen to that podcast, Lockdown Falcons, versus to include ours, because I mean his podcast is better. I ain't gonna lie, but there's some other podcasts that have just some wild
Call them out.
takes. I don't have time for that.
Call them out.
We gonna do this. Mad Mike Sports. You be
Oh!
saying some hella wild shit. It's entertaining. It is, but it's just like, what do we?
Your boy,
Mad Max for fucking like Rise Up Reader, who I saw saying some dumb shit.
Damn, I blocked them. Yo, stop retweeting these people. I have these people blocked and muted for a reason. Y'all keep bringing it back.
Breeze's favorite person, Jensen. You know, the people like that.
Terrible.
And he who shall not be named, who used to be somewhat affiliated with this podcast, his whole group of people, they all can kick rocks. But yeah, no comment on that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they unfollow me for some reason. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe you were spitting too much truth.
My bad. What am I supposed to do?
I don't know.
He couldn't even. I was on his show, man. He couldn't even pronounce the names of the players, man. Like, it was just like I think he pronounced Penei Sewell. I think he said like Sewell or some shit like that.
Oh no.
Like, bruh.
Like, usually it's a joke to be, you know.
No, I don't think he was able to pronounce their names. But
no, like I know people who I'll be playing with be saying some dumb shit about his name just because it's close to a certain male reproductive organ. But
oh man. But yeah, we out.
Yeah, I don't know how to do this shit.
You don't?
Hold on, I can do it. I'm gonna figure it out. Because he told me to add him, and I don't know how to do that because I don't do that.
Ooh.
Breeze got kicked because his internet is worse than Lethal's OnlyFans.
Damn.
I don't know. You might have to do it because you were on here first.
Do what? I don't know. What? Leave? That's
no. Add him back.
I don't know. He was on here first. He added me.
Yeah, I'm saying because you were in here, I was. It might like give it to you.
I don't know what to do.
I don't know.
Let's just leave. Can we just do that?
Or yeah, that'll work.
All right.
Damn. Everybody left. That's crazy.